Welcome back, everyone. Toy Shiz here, and I'm back yet again to serve up yet another Retro Shiz video, specifically for my Retro October 2022. And today, we're going to be checking out the McFarlane Toys Spawn Series 7 Spawn 3, the Special Edition Spawn. And on the backside, you get to see the wonderful Series 7. A lot of great figures in this particular wave. Really like the Mangler as well. And you get to see all the different figures that had come out prior. Series 6, 5, 1 for Total Chaos, right? Now, just keep in mind, if you look at mine today and you go, wait a minute, I didn't have the wolf. Well, there was a variance on this. One of the Spawn 3 special editions came with a owl and a bat. Or, like mine, you got the wolf, the bat, and the axe. Real confusing, I know. Right? But in either case, this is going to be fun. Sit back, relax, grab yourself a nice hot cup of coffee. This is a Retro Shiz Retro October look back at the 1997 Todd McFarlane's Spawn Ultra Action Figures Series 7, Spawn 3. And of course, here is Spawn 3 all out of the packaging, like 1,000 years ago now at this point. But you get the idea. So I still have most of my sets. We'll get into more of that in just a second. But like I said, I got the set that contained the wolf. And I remember exactly where I got this. I was with my pops at San Diego Comic-Con one year. It was Sunday, end of the day, everybody's going home. And my pops goes, "What do you want?" And we made a deal with the guy. You know, people don't want to take stuff home at the end of the day. And he got me Spawn 3. And as you can see, the wolf is basically a slug figure, removable collar. Not much to him. But yeah, he's a cool looking wolf, right? And then Spawn also came with Stormbreaker. Well, nowadays. But yeah, a big old tree branch with some wicked blades sticking through it. And it works for what it is. He has an open hand, as you'll soon see. And the weapon, he doesn't really hold it. It has nice paint to it, but that's where these little pegs come into play right there. I'll show you all of it, not to worry. And he does come with a bat. Now, these are not the bats that he comes with. This is from a different Spawn figure. For the life of me, can't find my bat. So I'm going to have to get a bat. I don't know. I don't know where it went. I'm so bummed about my bats. But yeah, it's just a bat hanger, basically. You can hang it on Spawn, but you get the idea. Anyways, Spawn 3. What a magnificent figure this was back in the day. A lot of great features to this. You had a little action feature. You had some light-up eyes. And you had a really cool-looking, complete Spawn in his new costume. I like the big old spiked glove. You do have plastic change. A little bit of a goofy amount of chain, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't really, I mean, back then it worked, but nowadays you look at it. He's got the big old clodhopper boots, all the paints, all the spikes, like a billion spikes on this boot. And on the bottom, as you can see, 1997 Todd McFarlane Toys. So that's always nice, right? No paint on the bottom, no peg holes on that side either. And on the legs, I just go real easy on these old figures now, to tell you the truth. Basic articulation, knees, arms, wrists don't move. All the spikes, the holes in the hand, right? That's where the weapon is going to go. And then you have this big old cape mechanism, right? And I mean, think about how to do Spawn's cape and have it be functional and toyetic at the same time. You have all this loosely said fabric, kind of taffeta, right? It's kind of a light, almost plasticky kind of material, but it works. It folds up. It does everything you want it to do, and it was stitched into the plastic, as you can see. Just be sure not to get the chains caught in the mechanism when you do this, but it's very cool. You push the skull right there on him, and boom, the wings just spring open beautifully. Look at this from the backside, right? Sometimes one goes up before the other one. But yeah, this was just a very fun toy, and it still is. I like toys with gimmicks. That's why I like He-Man Masters of the Universe. It's the toys that are left that still do things, squirt water, what have you. But look at all the tears and rips in the cape. Those are all manually done, right? That's what they wanted to do. No problems with it ever ripping again. And to fold it up, it simply just goes just like that. Like I said, keep note of the chains. Don't get them caught in the mechanism. But everything stays. Sometimes you kind of have to move the material around, but for days and days, I did this, just folding up the cape, opening the cape, folding the cape, opening the cape, right? It's pretty easy. Like I said, it just kind of folds up. It stays for the most part. Now, it is getting older, so sometimes it'll activate without me doing it. But yeah, it's still fun nonetheless. But you have a real presence of Spawn with this particular figure. And grab his little weapon right here. Like I said, Spawn's always a fan of wooden objects with blades sticking out of them, and it just pegs into his hand. You can use either hand. Both of them have the holes. And bingo bango, you got yourself a really cool looking Spawn 3. This was a different Spawn. This had an action feature. This was when McFarlane Toys made action figures, right? A lot of people like to say, oh, there always been statues. No, this was the epitome of Image Comics in action figure form. Kind of like Toy Biz, right? As you can kind of see. But let's shut the lights off and show you the main attraction here. Spawn, always known for that necroplasm, right? Lift this arm right here, and it still activates the green light bulb in his head. And it lights up his eyes, and that is just so darn cool. You kind of have to make it so you look at it from the side because the bulb is like straight in the center. Oh, by the way, you can never replace the batteries on this guy. It says on the packaging. So what you see is what you get. And yeah, it still works after all these years. Pretty cool, right? So I can't just leave you with Spawn, right? It's Retro October. We got to do something fun here. So we're going to look at Sam and Twitch from Series 7 as well. A really good set of toys. 2 for 1. Just like the original packaging used to say, right? Todd likes his deals, I think. But it's a very cool set featuring the artwork of the old Image Comics 90s Spawn, right? McFarlane, Capullo, all thrown in there. Now, they do come with some weapons and accessories. This would be Sam's gun. It's more of that black plastic with that silverish sort of undertone to it, little specks that a lot of the Spawn figures have. Twitch, of course, gets his revolver. It's a little bit more souped up, a lot more Image Comicsified. You know what I mean? They always gave their heroes and villains such crazy vacuum cleaner type guns, but it's still fun. It's comic booky. It's supposed to be goofy, but regardless, it's a revolver, right? You got not one, but 2 walkie-talkies for your 2 action figures. Not much to it, but it works for what it is. That is perfect. And of course, the best accessory is Sam Berg's purple jelly-filled donuts. Cops with donuts, you gotta make it happen. And they did, because Sam right here, he's got a big old mouthful of that donut. I love the way that that is sculpted. They're taken seriously. They're not goofy cops. They have each other's backs, and I just love the way that this is. It's having fun, but also being in the Spawn universe. Not a whole lot of articulation, but he does have paint for days, and everything is pretty crisp. Not a whole lot on the back, maybe a wash or two. This is before he really started to get heavy into the ultra action figure aspect, right? But then they largely became statuesque. Basic articulation, spins at the wrist, spin at the head. Nothing at the legs, but he does spin at his big old belly right there. So that's cool. No peg holes, nothing like that. But a very cool Sam Burke. And of course, Detective Twitch Williams with his cool push broom mustache. You'll notice a peg hole in his head. We'll get to that in just a second. But this is Twitch and how I remember him from the comics. Very weird pencil-necked dude with the orange hair, right? And the glasses, not really being able to see his eyes. But again, very basic articulation. The paint is nice. No peg holes, nothing like that. But he is the brown-suited Twitch that I know and love. Basic articulation, as you can see. The head moves, the arms, and the legs will kick out. No wrists, nothing on that. So they kind of differentiate on the articulation between Sam and Twitch. And going back to that hole in the side of his head, there was an alternate set which had them in more like ballistics gear, having headphones. So that's why the hole in his head is there. So if you got that set, yeah, you could definitely make it happen with this figure as well. But I just like how they are. They're very much toys, but they represent that era of 90s Image Comics. The donut chugging Sam Burke, right? Very cool. Now, one thing with Sam is that he does have a trigger finger on his hand, on one of the hands, not the donut holding hand. Twitch, however, does not. He kind of just holds it basic style. So it's not great in that sense, but for being an old toy, it's definitely still a lot of fun. And as you can see, they both hold their walkie-talkies nicely. And that, again, kind of going off of that, is the fun of the original Spawn line with just basic action figures representing what the characters are in the comics. Not too much articulation, which I don't mind. See, that's why I grew up. I don't care for a ton of articulation in this day and age. As long as the characters look good, I'm totally good with it. Now, a caveat to that is some characters do need a lot more articulation if you want to pose them out, especially in this day and age. But in looking at what's come before and now seeing the Spawn's Universe reboot line, so much more articulation, but still sharing that charm between the two, right? As you can clearly see. And with Spawn, with this particular older toy line, you had all the characters that you wanted. It looked like the artwork. Sure, it had light-up features and functions and gimmicks, and that was part of having fun toys. Toys don't need to be always so just over-the-top, collector-friendly, right? They can still be simple at the end of the day. Have a ton of paint, basic articulation to get some poses down. Have a light-up feature or two. That was always fun, but just make sure to take the batteries out when you can, right? Spawn 3, it's kind of a done deal. When it goes, it goes. So that is going to wrap it up for my look at the 1997 McFarlane Toys Series 7 Spawn, Spawn 3, and of course Detectives Sam and Twitch. Man, we need another bag of demons. Like an updated, like, again, I guess in that sense, it could be bendy wire, but have a little more articulation. See, I'm all over the place. It doesn't matter. But from Angela to Violator to all these old toys, I highly recommend them. They're a lot of fun. And to see them now in this day and age, yeah, they still hold up. But you've heard my thoughts. Now I'm curious to know yours. Comment below. Let me know. Let's talk everything McFarlane Toys Spawn. And I'm going to leave you guys with that. As always, drink some great coffee, eat some great food, but most importantly, remember, I got a lot more older toys coming for Retro October. Not to worry, but, you know, that one guy, we don't have to worry about him no more. Spawn took care of business. And when we do, let me know what you found. I'll talk to you guys soon. Adios.